Even though one of our races at Hollywood Bets, Scottsville, has been downgraded to a grade 2, it is still a bonanza, a great bonanza of sprint racing, the best you'll get anywhere around the world, in South Africa certainly. And that is, of course, the big meeting. It is a jackpot of graded sprint events, 3 grade 1s and the last leg. That is a race number 8 that will see the grade 2 or the newly named a grade 2 Golden Horse Sprint, still the focal point of the meeting. A very good morning to you. It is looking forward to a great weekend of racing. And without further ado, a man I'm sure who has been chomping at the bit to just share his knowledge with us is Mr. Len Mayu. He has been in good form, and that there is no doubt, sometimes hitting the bar with good price horses. Let's follow him this afternoon or Saturday afternoon. We are recording on a Friday morning, and we should come out the better. Len, good morning to you. I've done all the talking. It is now up to you. Put your great knowledge and all your hours of work and studying to good news. Starting in race 2, competitive start to the bipot. Welcome to Waited to Win.
Good morning, Cecil. Thank you. Yes, look, tomorrow's card, it's going to there's going to be some big dividends. It looks very tricky right the way through. But we've got to make a stand somewhere, and I've gone for a couple. Hope, but in any event, the first leg of the bipot, a tricky start. I've elected to go with 4 runners. Had the Cape Visitor, Another Dream, been better drawn up, probably could have bankered her, but drawn out at 13, I'll rather play it safe, and I've put in 4 horses, 3, 4, 5, and 13 in the first leg of the bipot.
3, 4, 5, and 13. So I take it, even though there is that dodgy draw to talk about, it is going to be the first choice. That is Len and his bipot 3, 4, 5, and 13. It's an outlay of 216 rand, and hopefully you do catch it at least once, because as he says, it will pay. Well, if you were just watching us, you've seen the opening montage there. You're watching our Waited to Win, proudly brought to you by Betway, and we get to race 3 on the big card at Hollywood Bets, Scottsville. On this Saturday, it is, of course, that bonanza of sprints. We haven't got to the business end yet, but race 3 sees the start of the PA, and it's Raider, Mr. Fani Bronkhorst, with the consistent Princess Solaria on the Betway website, showing at 4-1. Number 5, One Smart Cookie, Tini Prinsloo, and Richard Fourie, 9-2. It is 6-1 about number 10, and that is Phasar. 6 is Streisand, another of the Joburg Raiders, is at 13-2. It's 15-2 and better by those. Race number 3, Princess Solaria, good draw, and that's always a big one. And that is Gavin Arena, who's ridden the horse 4 times for a second, a third, and a fourth. Could it be a win in your eyes on Saturday?
Yes, Cecil. Look, she's definitely my first choice, but it's an easy start to the place accumulator, and I've included a few runners here. But definitely, not definitely. She's my first elect, Princess Solaria. But I've included 2, 5, 8, and 9 in the place accumulator here.
2, 5, 8, and 9. And whilst we're on the subject of runners for race 3, one who won't be taking part, scratching coming through this morning is the 3 Ideal Gift. The Robbie Hill runner will not be running, so that'll be 12 runners for leg 1 of the PA. 2, 5, 8, and 9, and then you've got the cushion of the 3 bankers. We'll touch on those shortly. But it's the first leg of the PA, 12:20, the off time to race 3. Early start to racing in Pietermaritzburg on Saturday. Well, one name written to the Scottsville folklore is Elysian Chief, one at a decent odds, Muzieni, teaming up with trainer Corey Leslie. And ironically, he was at his son's wedding, so he couldn't lead the horse in, but the wife deputized admirably. This is Elysian Chief. Class 4 is over the 1600 meters, and the favorite in world-famous silks of the Field Spring is 11 Gurkha at 9-2. Number 8 Ingwele is at 9-2. It's the 7 Terminator at 6-1. 13-2 about the 14 Grand Canaria. Right, Trappy start again to the pick six. We're going to use that word Trappy quite a bit. But Ingwela, you were saying off air, the way Ingwela won last time out, Sean Veal, he's now got those 100 minutes for the season. Up and down season for him, but he has come back stronger than ever. And he's aboard Ingwela once again.
Yes, so this race, I mean, I could start from the top down and make a case virtually for all the runners in the race. But like I said, we have to take a stand somewhere. And I'm taking a chance here. I'm going to go along with number 8, Igwele. He was very impressive last time, winning by over 6 lengths, beating Gurkha, in fact, who's the current favourite for the race. So Gurkha's got to find 6 lengths on him, which is quite a ask, I think. And yeah, so I'm taking a chance and banging him in all bets.
We'll hold thumbs for you, and that is the 8, the banker. And once we have got that first banker, I think after that, the second banker, we can feel a little more easier. That's race number 4, the first leg of the pick six. 12:55 is the start to race 4. All right, this is when Scottsville, Pietermaritzburg comes to a halt as the Group 1s start. And of course, it is so exciting to get a couple of Group 1s for 2-year-olds because they do train on, it seems, these days and go on to bigger and better things. Well, in race number 5, we have got a PE Raider who is currently at the top of the boards, and that is at around 12-10, and that is Direct Hit, who could turn it into a tremendous season for trainer Alan Greif and the ownership Richmond and Devon Heifer. The market rival is One Fine Winter in the colours of the Dragonstein. That is at 18-10. And then a winner of a feature already this season in the KZN region is the 7 Elegantrix, and that is at 8-1. It's double figures about the rest. Direct Hit, I was saying to Nina Podesta earlier on, Mr. Mayhew, he's already won a nursery in the Western Cape with Direct Hit. He came to Joburg and he won a nursery with Golden Palm. And now Direct Hit could make it 2 provinces that are not familiar, where it wins feature races.
100%, Cecil. I mean, this filly, Direct Hit, she feels scant regard for who she's running with. She simply blows them away. And I think as long as she's travelled up well and everything is in order, I can see her winning again, notching up another victory. Obviously, the danger is the Sean Terry filly. The biggest danger, I would imagine, is One Fine Winter. But if you look back at the nursery in Johannesburg, Golden Palm beat One Fine Winter. Now, Golden Palm's obviously also trained by Alan Greif. So he'll have a very good line through. And I think she can follow up again and make it 4 out of 4.
Right, that is number 10, and very much in the same corner as you, Direct Hit. We will be shouting. Obviously, we always like to see champions, and there are some remarkable performances achieved, and Direct Hit would just do that for Alan Greif. That is race 5, leg 1. Please take note. Carryover jackpot, unlike the others of the weekend, R500,000, and we're expecting an estimated net of 1.5 million come race 5 at 1:30 at Hollywood Bet Scottsville. All right, the second and final 2-year-old grade 1 on a Saturday at Hollywood Bets Scottsville. It is the gold medallion. It should be for the males. It's over the 1,200 meters. We have lost 3 Green Diamond. That would have been the rose amongst the thorns, who has certainly shown that this is a runner that you have to keep firmly etched in that notebook. All right, let's have a look at the betting. We've got Military Command in the colours of Mr. Steve Sturley. Good to see those colours back in circulation, and that is at 7-2. 4-1 about numbers 1 Zalatoris and the 8 Charming Cheetah. And then you got the maiden, the 4 African Pride at 9-2. Right, it is the gold medallion. No Green Diamond. We have to move on, Mr. Len Mayhew. We have to live without it, but she will be back. What do we do? Race number 6 now that she's gone.
Cecil, it's difficult to assess when all the different provinces come together and none of them have actually raced against each other. But this was a Military Command. He ran below his best last time, and I'm not sure if it wasn't the fact that he didn't get to the front and dictate, because he's won his previous 2 races from start to finish. When he's been out in front and doing it on his own, he seems to be more comfortable. But I've backed him up with the two half-felt runners, Charming Cheetah and number one, Zalatoris. There wasn't much between the two of them last time, so I've backed him up with those two. Yes, there are certainly others with chances, but I'm electing to go a bit light here so we can fill up further on in the pick six.
Thank you so much. And be reminded once again that this is not the second jackpot commencing, because it is a 10-race program. Jackpot 2 starts race 7. We've got the scratching in race 6 of the 3, Green Diamond. All right, the last of our Group 1 features, but it's not the end of the bonanza. It is race number 7, the Group 1 South African Phillies Sprint, the 2025 renewal. And what a competitive lineup we have. It's a mix of all ages. Of course, it is a weight-for-age event. And your favoritism, I think this tells a story. Double Grand Slam last seen running on the 25th of Jan when going down second to Raskova, who also runs in this race. And that is at 4-1. 9-2 about the 10, Asiya Pambili. Number 8, Mia Mu is at 13-2. Then the 5, Raskova. First run for the Terry stable officially. That is at 7-1. It's 10-1 and better by those quoted runners. You could make a case again for race number 7. It is the 15 runners carded for race number 7, Len. The South African Phillies Sprint brought to you by the Witness, 1,200 meters the trip. Where do you begin?
Yes, so you can make a case for virtually all the runners here. I mean, it's really attracted a very, very good field of fillies. I'm impressed with this, the 5-year-old mare, Asiya Pambili. The last time she ran an absolute cracker, going down less than a half a length to My Sensation, and she had to concede 8.5 kilos to her that day, and that was in the Poinsettia Stakes. Tomorrow, she's only conceding 1.5, so I'm expecting her to turn the tables on My Sensation. As I say, a very open race, but I've had to try and cut it down to as and I'm including number 1, obviously, Double Grand Slam. She really is a cracking filly, and she's so versatile. She can win a 12 and further 1800. Then Mia Mu, who's in devastating form at the moment. She's won her last 2 very impressively. And obviously the 5-horse Raskova, who's always been in the ding-dong battle with Double Grand Slam. So with those 4, I think we're relatively safe, but there are others that could pop up.
Okay, but Asiya Pambili is certainly one to be taken note of, and that is looking for good improvement on the course and distance. Already good form, 5 runs, a win, and 3 seconds. Jockey is Sean Veal. 2025 renewal of the Golden Horse Sprint. It will be a grade 2 for the first time, and it's still over the 1,200 meters, and also still a very attractive race to be involved in. R1 million is the total cash prize, with the winner getting that 593,000 equivalent to what you're getting in the Phillies SA Sprint. So definitely nothing to be sniffed at. But it is a very open-looking contest once again, and it is 11-2 about number 16 Tenango. Number 12 Otaniqua is at 7-1. 8-1 about numbers 5 Outlaw King, and the PE Red Allen brings another runner to the tracks, and that is the 7 Fairy Knight, and that is at 8-1. It's 9-1 and better by those quoted runners. Again, Cat's Pajamas 3-year-old has continued where it left off as a 2-year-old, and recently went to Scottsville and won over the 1,000 meters. So I shouldn't have too many scares, 1,400 rather, at Scottsville. So we'll be acclimatized. Callan Murray gets the ride for Frank Robinson, and Sid Moodley and Frank have continued where they left off last season. Just one of those for value, but I'm sure you've got your preferences, Len.
Yes, Cecil. As you can see by the betting, I mean, this race is really, really wide open, and any of it. We've got Tenango top of the boards at 11-2 or whatever the price is. He's in great form, improving all the time, but he's got an outside draw of 16 to deal with. So, sure, it's a very, very difficult race. I've gone 8 horses in the place accumulator, and Usually, when you go wide like that, the favourites come home first, second, and third. But I'm taking a chance and looking for a result here.
Okay, 8 runners, that's not a bad thing at all. And to boot, Len has suggested a swinger Boston. There are the 1, 5, 7, 9, and 16. So that's 1, 5, 7, 9, and 16 to race 8. The Golden Horse Sprint will be run at 3:15. That is race 8. The last chance to get involved in a pick 3. Okay, so the PANs, and that is, of course, including the pick 6 with race number 9. And, of course, we've had those 8 horses suggested by Len in race number 8. In race number 9, the favorite is the 15, it's Vavane, and that is at 4-1. It's 5-1 about the 5 Unbel Die. The 2, Vian's Web, is at 13-2. And then the 3, Guy Gibson, a runner that will be of interest to quite a few Joburgers and I'm sure racing fundies around the country. That is easy to back at 8-1. It's 10-1 and better by those. So hopefully the 8 horses see us through first, second, and third. You can have the scenario where you have one of your 8 horses just about scrape into third, Len.
Oh, Cecil, I'm just hoping we can treble up. And it's that much of a difficult race that it wouldn't surprise me if we didn't even survive. But anyway, moving on to the 9th race, it's not getting any easier. There's a horse running here that is a decent price. And I'm prepared to ignore his last run. He's really much better than that run. I don't know what happened last time. There's also Grado, number 7. He ran a very flat race. So I'm going to give him another chance. And but in saying that, there's plenty here that have chances. Isifavani, Guy Gibson, Bourbon Warrior. Those should all go in big terms. But for the PA, I've included 4 runners, 5, 6, 7, and 15.
5, 6, 7, and 15, and then as an exacta box, he's added the 3, and that is the Joburg Raider Guy Gibson. Roy Magner with Andy Fortune rode it to a good 4th. I say good 4th because it was beaten by 0.35 lengths by Yomadori last time out. That's race number 9. We just have that 10th and final to come through, and that is at 16:25. Right, the lucky last is the Lucky Lad 2024 Class 5. Lucky Lad, of course, won a couple of group races at Hollywood Bets Scottsville. And in race number 10, that is named after Lucky Lad, Now I Got You, is at 3-1. That is the 7. The 4-1 Irish Rover is at 7-2, 7-2. The 1 Cotinos, the 8 Double Olympic is at 5-1. Just before we hand over to Len, number 10, Indecent Proposal, a form update from a recent run on the Polytrack, finished 4th over a distance of 1,000 meters, and that was a length and a 3/4 to Purple Powerhouse, who is the 3, and that is a scratching. So that is Indecent Proposal, 4th, a length and a 3/4. Kunni Stradham's colors are on the 7. Now I Got You. He was the owner, one of the owners of the great JJ the Jet Plane, who won the Golden Horse Sprint a few years back at Hollywood Bet Scottsville. How are we tackling race number 10, Len?
Again, a tricky race, Cecil. The betting 3-1, the top 3 in the betting, then 5-1, 7-1. There's quite a bit of conflicting form here with runners. 7. Now I Got You, 1 Irish Rover, and Cotton Run. They all seem to have beaten each other on different occasions. So depends on who's feeling best on the day of those 3. But I see that trainer Roy Magnus brought Cotinos down. And he must be respected, although he hasn't won for over 500 days. So how much confidence you can put in him, I'm not sure. My suggestion is just taking the trifecta box, 1, 4, 6, 7, and 8.
Okay, so it is Cotinos included, the 1, the 4-1 Irish Rover, the 6 Cotton Run, the 7 your favorite Now I Got You, and the 8 Double Olympic. That is a look ahead to racing at Hollywood Bets Scottsville on the last day of May, and it is of course nothing lost about the quality of runners.